I'm actually going to open the audio right now so that Drain can tell me exactly what a summoning salt video is.
Have Twitch chat up, like on the side or something.
It's a very, very different world when you're solo potting versus running a show. We already have 15 displays in here.
Oh, I mean, just like borrow the corner of your triple display here.
You mean a fourth display?
We do have the fourth display mounts over in the storage room.
Yes, sir, you do.
I don't know. When we do overlay changes between seasons, maybe we'll find a Twitch chat overlay.
I mean, I just joined IRC, but you know.
Subscriber balloons that pop up right in the middle of the driver's view.
God. Stop emoting.
It is my fervent wish that we never, ever, ever, ever implement any stream alerting, bitch celebrations, subscription cheers.
You know what platform you're on, sir.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if you do that, it's got to be like an oil splat on the windshield.
Please do not pre-engineer this.
Or bird poop. Oh, goodness.
All right, go ahead and bring him into the starting line. And hold. As we move the boom arm out of the way of all of the buttons.
Indeed.
Discord has notified me that an event has started, which means
Indeed time.
we're technically 21 seconds behind schedule.
Oh, goodness.
We may need to scrap the night.
Uh-oh.
All right, folks, good luck and good show.
Gonna be great.
Tonight we race. We race. And I run very, very quickly to a pod so I can drive to an Le Mans start. Pardon me. Oh, God, I've sat in this before. Mic check pod 4, mic check pod 4.
Yep.
Green, green, green. Okay, here comes your time lapse.
God, I don't even know what to do here. I know. Ugh. The answer is violate the pit speed limit, apparently.
Apparently I decided my timed lap would be my first time drifting lap.
Oh, right. Solo qualify.
Green flag, green flag. Chicken flag, chicken flag. Here comes your time lapse.
Handles canister nicely.
Pit boxing and chicken flag. 5, 3, 2, 1. There's the flag. It's right here.
What do you mean it's over? This is a better lap. Tech, can you tap the mute on the lollipop? How was that? I hope everyone qualified well.
Well, I qualified.
Yeah, exactly. I at least qualified.
I may have put a few AIs into this race.
5 cars left to grid. Still waiting on 2 cars to grid.
Gridding in, good luck.
How are we waiting on 5 cars to
Waiting on the
grid?
final car to grid.
Isn't it just us?
It's just us and a few of our closest friends.
It's a lot of friends in front.
Whose pod was this on Wednesday? This is a very comfortable setup.
Duffy, I think you can hit the green thing.
Everyone's gridded. Green flag, green flag.
Blowing 2 to 3 was fun.
How many incidents can we cause on the first corner?
Gentle contact. You know what? Third year's a trap. Don't down. I'm guessing this is not the SCCA qualified racing line.
Everything is a suggestion when there's 50 people in front of you.
Eventually people are going to get pissed off at me squeezing through these.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Sir, do you need a medical assistance? I didn't bump up the force on my wheels. Feels like Fisher Price. Whose corpse was that?
Oh, I saw you.
They get to tow me like 10 feet.
And you really feel that when it hits.
Okay, Okay, go.
That was going to happen eventually.
The leader is leader 23.112.
What are you guys up to back here?
You think I'm back here, but I'm actually like 5 laps behind here.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, I just lost like 3 spots.
Showed, I think the telemetry got turned off in this one, or rather the black box key map.
I think that's what Conan said on Wednesday.
We'll fix it between takes.
Guess I'm going to the pit.
It's 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and I am starting to get tired.
Yeah, I'm getting dizzy from all these lefts.
What do you mean all these? It's one left that never stops.
Okay, go. Outside is clear. Outside. Car outside. Keep low. Outside is clear. Car outside. Still there. Clear outside.
Are these spoilers made of plexiglass?
You have a spoiler?
I think the iRacing devs and I have a fundamental misunderstanding about what the correct line through here is.
Clear outside.
right?
Go for it.
Sorry. Having done that, I now feel obligated to tell you there's a hole in the side of your car spitting fire.
That's fine.
Hellman's, that's some serious mayonnaise.
All right, who was that?
It's turned Duffy's actuators go nuts. Oh, hey, Duffy.
I got love tapped by somebody.
Did they bring out the Hellmans? Did they bring out the best? I now understand the point of having a racer with spotters because I've spent the last 60 seconds trying to figure out who's in front of me. It's fucking car 15. I'm the daddy wrangler. Where's it come to wrangler daddy? Getting greedy. Fine. Everything's fine.
This is a really long 15 minutes.
Don't know why he flicked him off. He can't see me. I think that might hurt his position, Bob. Duffy, need anything? Can I get you anything? Little tap on the left quarter panel, maybe?
I am spectacularly upside down.
That car was vertical.
How many effing times do I have to pass Mayonnaise car?
How does it take a full minute to tow me back to here?
You telling me you couldn't push it on your own? might be more time than I've spent in fourth gear any time in my life.
I've passed so many people, but I think I'm still 3 laps behind.
I wish I could swap new gears into the gearing. I just need like 3 more miles an hour in fourth.
White flag, restart blue. Outside.
I think my pit crew is building me a whole new car.
Still there. Clear.
1 lap. We can do it. 1 car.
Car outside.
Sorry.
Clear. Clear high.
It wasn't even an actual. Where's Alex?
White flag is weapons free, right?
Chicken flag.
It
chicken
means
flag.
last lap, last lap.
Then schedule some testing. We'll get
Passing the Wrangler again, or am I?
clear outside. Pit boxing. 5, 3, flag, chicken flag. 1. Right here.
What were you paying attention to out there? Well,
Chicken flag, chicken flag. Pit box is early, be ready. Okay, the race is over. Bring it on.
Yeah, -8. There we go. Don't smash your car in the first minute of the race.
Oh, my goodness. There is a reason why I don't drive on the real nights, because that was a lot of work. Oh, God, where are we? All right. Welcome to Tonight We Race, Seattle's secret underground racing laboratory. Secret because the city keeps rejecting my billboard designs. Underground because there's enough EM interference in this room to cook a rotisserie chicken. The racing bit we hope will be self-explanatory. And lab because here on Tonight We Race, we want to expose you to some of the aspects of simulation you may not have convenient access to, not all of which necessarily involve racing. Stick around and you maybe see something sharp, like the aluminum edges of our racing pods, though none of us have produced an emergency room trip in weeks. My name's Maridine. I'm the host in Project League, and tonight we're operating without a co-host, but Shote is very conveniently sitting next to me, because what else are you going to do between rounds in a non-fully operational night? In fact, it is Saturday, so all of the try-hard crews have off tonight, and we're just playing around in the bits and pieces. Before we move on, let's talk about some stuff. You just saw, what did they just see? That is iRacing's mini stock car, which is sort of a synthetic starter car for learning both track and dirt oval racing. It still gets 200 horsepower, and it only weighs about 2,600 pounds, so it's no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. And we like it because it lets us clack around with our BDH manual shifters and also run into the walls and have consensual car contact with other cars in a racing format where it's kind of expected. The track for that experiment is Oswego Speedway, a tiny little oval in upstate New York, practically on the water of Lake Ontario. It actually started as a horse racing track in the early last century, and it was made into a dirt racing track, a dirt auto racing track in 51, then paved in 52, then lengthened in 62, then covered back in dirt again for the 2016 WRC Super Dirt Car Championship. And at this point, I can't actually tell you what it is. iRacing, though, covers all of its incarnations except for the horse racing, so we chose to trade some paint on the asphalt. This. As always, we will intro our drivers before the first feature race, but before we do that, let's run the news And joining us for the news tonight, because he also read the same stuff that I did, is Shote.
It's me.
So iRacing just dropped their November update, and there's a lot of really cool stuff to talk about. Season 25, which starts in December, is going to get some fun new cars. But I wanted to talk about one in particular, the BMW M2 CSR. Was there anything you wanted to talk about in particular?
No, that one was the one on my list.
So the BMW M2 is kind of this hilarious car. Back in the days when you could almost predict how many doors a Beamer would have based on its series number, BMW slapped together the 1 Series M of spare parts, basically, just things they had in bins for other automobiles, and everyone absolutely adored it. The 1 Series isn't sold in the United States anymore because we're not really particularly big fans of small cars. However, the M2 is kind of the spiritual successor of that excellent little Beamer. You can, of course, just buy a base model 2 Series just right off the rack. And the M2 CSR is a race-prepared version with 365 horsepower. And here's the part that's got the people on Reddit kind of pissed off. It's going to be baseline content, which, as far as I am concerned, is absolutely fantastic.
I thought that was good, but people on Reddit are mad about it.
People on Reddit are mad about it because, and this isn't a wrong way to think. It's just not the way that I think. People get really, really attached to a single car and where it stands in the universe of what they feel is their meta. And before I explain this, I actually did have an M2 slide. It's actually a pretty sexy car, even in non-texture mapped silver. So an argument goes, well, I'm really, really invested in the GR86, but now this thing's going to be there in Rookie. So why did I put all this time in the GR86? And like so another car is now in Rookie. Like, you now get to learn 2 cars. Holy shit. The whole point of this exercise is you get to drive all these different awesome cars. So there's that angle of it.
Yeah.
And then there's the, well, I paid $15 for this other thing, and now this thing's just free. What the hell? And that's like, game developers have to make money, y'all. It's a live service.
Not on a free car, I guess.
No,
But
I suppose not. I'm really looking forward to it. We will absolutely swap it into probably cold open. The rest of Tonight We Race Season 1 has already been planned out, with the exception of Saturdays, which don't count. But we will undoubtedly swap it into some sort of race on Saturday. Any other cars you wanted to highlight there?
I think that was the only one. I think the only other one on the list was like a Ferrari of some kind.
So there is a new Ferrari LMP. There's 2 new supercars, and I don't have my notes in front of me. I want to say it's another Mustang supercar, and then maybe a Camaro. And anyone, obviously, if you're in the audience and are at iRacing.com looking at the news page, like, please feel free to tell me. But yeah, like I don't race LMP. I am not fast enough to appreciate the difference between this particular model Ferrari and a Porsche 935 or anything else in that. So let's move on to, there are a number of new tracks coming out for the season, which is pretty awesome. I've chosen to highlight, what have I chosen to highlight? The Hussett Speedway in South Dakota. We don't run a ton of dirt oval on Tonight We Race because at full actuator strength, it's actually extremely hard on both the pods and the drivers. First oval racing is what was responsible for what we call the great untightening of September, where shit was falling off of our pods left and right until we started getting serious about bolt metallurgy and locking washers and all sorts of other technologies in strategic locations. Anyway, if you're into monster trucks, tractor pulls, endurocross, this is the place. Sadly, though, iRacing doesn't simulate any of those things, so we're stuck hucking sprint cars around way too fast and breaking my sim pods.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of other dirt ovals that we've tried before.
The Chili Bowl comes to mind. The Chili Bowl is what is responsible for losing the lower actuator grip when we first found that out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no straight on that one. It was just...
It's just turn. Just
Yeah.
keep going. The Chili Bowl is the reason why we still have an inspection mirror hanging around here, so we can look at the bottoms of the actuator mountings between races, just in case. Moving on, iRacing has the system called actually, I'm going to missay it, so I'm not going to say it. It's basically it's dynamic track surfacing and obstacles, and so we're getting something called debris refresh, which frankly sounds terrifying. I'm told that this is told by the document. This is not secret knowledge. That this is in the service of adding things later, such as a tire puncture model, which I'm sure everyone will appreciate as much as I will.
Well, I mean, the document also talked about how like certain racing lines on certain tracks like are unrealistic because they just have debris all over.
Right. So like when you're on the long straight at like Le Mans or something, like yes, in theory you've got this 10-meter wide racetrack, but the reality is everyone's in the narrow section because all the crap's been thrown off to the side.
But they don't clean it before like people drive on it or anything.
It's a
like
24-hour race, man. Are they gonna get out there with a Zamboni in between laps or something?
that. I mean, that's what hockey does.
Speaking of which, there are a bunch of cool enhancements coming up on the tire model that we absolutely did not feel qualified to cover in any meaningful way, and so I present this picture lifted from their stuff, and I hope it means something to someone because I don't.
Wireframes.
And then finally, and here is my personal favorite bit. If you are familiar with iRacing, then you will know that this UI upgrade they are doing is frankly so long overdue. They are pulling their UI out of the 90s. I apologize, iRacing. And the new overlays also look slick. They look as good or better than a lot of the third-party stuff that's been coming out for overlays that a lot of people rely on. Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff in the update. We're not going to cover it all. Please hit iRacing.com and read the update if that's the sort of thing that you're into. This is going to be a great season, and we are going to be here for it, probably. Cool. What's next? Right, the schedule. So this is Saturday night. We're saying 2 in quotes because technically the pilot was on Saturday, but this is the second Saturday we're running. So in my internal documentation, it's Saturday 2. You saw mini stock on Oswego. Feature race 1 tonight is going to be the Toyota GR86, which we mentioned earlier, on the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit, the Sprintstrecke it is called. And then feature race 2, which frankly is only the sort of thing we would do if I'm actually manning a pod for the evening, because I don't think anyone else really likes this anywhere near as much as I do. We will be driving touring cars on, touring endurance cars on the Nordschleife. And we'll be doing that a little bit different. We'll be driving as kind of a pack at a very, very moderate pace, just enjoying the sightseeing and shooting the shit.
Touring.
Yes, sorry. I'd go to the green room and get a penalty box, but in any event, and then we'll cross one lap as friends, and then the race begins. So I'm looking forward to that. Tonight in our pods, Shote doing double duty tonight. We have Tech doing the technical work tonight, which is great, so that Shote can split off and do some pod racing tonight. Thank you, as always, Shote. Pod 3 is Duffy. Duffy was kind of instrumental in our technical tests and research and development, but he has not had the availability to come in and do an actual night since the project started, so Duffy's going to be out, and for better or for worse, ooh, that's not right. There we go. For better or for worse, you've also got me running a pod tonight because actually I never get to drive when I'm running the show, and that actually hurts. So at this point, we should probably get everybody ready to run feature race 1. I'm going to go hit the bat signal button on the Stream Deck here and get everybody called back in, and let's get those pods set up. Pardon us for one moment. This is what happens when we run Saturdays and we're short by a couple of humans.
Just quit out.
Yeah, Tech, can you pull him back out through? All right, pod 4 is about ready. Drain, I apologize. I have not been paying careful attention to chat. Is bugs on the windshield related to Conan in any way? Or are these two distinct, separate thoughts? we will have considerably less AIs running tonight for this segment. All right, we're going to cut this over to the quad pod here. All right, pod 1 is loaded in practice. Shote, did you verify you've got the admin controls?
Yep.
Cool, thank you. Looks like pod 2 is loading in, and pod 3 is loading in, and pod 4 is already sitting there at the practice. So I'm going to go ahead and mute up here and head on over to my pod.
It's all the same to you. We would like to get like one or two practice laps in.
Sounds good.
Mic check.
Yep.
You know what? Never leave the pit lane without checking your view. My apologies to everyone behind me. Straight into the hairpin on pit exit. That's nice. I'm beginning to see the advantage the GT4 guys have on Tuesday or on Wednesday night. Having the same car for the entire night is a big advantage.
Yep. That is true.
Trying to get the mini stock oval out of my mouth.
Yeah, I definitely need these practice laps.
You're going to sneak into the pit stop here and change the force feedback settings on my wheel. What button did we put the pit limiter on?
Left D-pad.
That's amazing. All right, pretend you can't see this. Well, now that I've done that, why am I still in the pit? What are they doing? Am I serving a penalty? Joe, you can advance this when you're ready.
Okie dokie.
15 newton meters on the wheel. I feel so much better.
Oh, we forgot to fix your settings. Control settings.
It's fine. I'll live without it. All right, this is an open qualifier, which means there's going to be some traffic, but you can treat it like practice. And that's how you stall out a GR86.
Oh, yeah, this pit limiter is lovely.
It's so good.
Compound. Sir, there's nothing over there.
I wasn't sure.
All right, flying lap. Here we go. I think we left a little on the table back there. I'm not getting used to that, jeez.
That hairpin is a lot of corner.
I am transferring so much weight in braking. It's breaking my little butt loose.
Slow down. You got a penalty for cutting the course. Right side. Clear. Right side.
That was 2 wheels on. I'd like to contest that.
Still there. Hold your line.
And the tap. Fuck me.
Clear on the right.
Finally didn't choke turn one. How about that? Wednesday night guys put on the split timers, and this is great. Looks like I'm holding up traffic. Wasn't a blue flag, buddy. Is that better? Was that allowed?
Right side. Stay on the left. Clear. Car right. Still there, hold the line. Keep to the left. Clear on the right. Car right. Clear. Car right. Keep to the left.
Brake later is what I'm
Clear on
hearing.
the right. Right side. Still there, hold the line. Stay on the left. Clear on the right.
How's everybody looking?
Yeah, pretty something.
Clear.
They are using that elevation change much better than I am.
Left side. Clear on the left.
Pardon my mess.
Car right. Clear. Car right. Still there. Clear left.
Ah, I like that. "30 seconds left, there will not be another lap." Or does it let you finish the last one? Maybe it lets you finish the last one. shot. You know the greatest mark of immersion ever? I just tried to put my elbow down on the open window.
It's over.
Nice.
There is no open window. Well, a lot of open window, depending on how you think about it.
Pit box in 10. 5,
Gotta freak this guy out.
3, 2, 1. Right here.
I'm not gonna call that the best performance the humans have ever put in.
141. What the hell? Kipling.
1 to go. Next time by. Line up on the left side.
I've seen
2 cars to grid.
like
Road is closed. Waiting on the final 1 lap to green.
3
Line up on the
places
right
where I thought I
side.
could get a
Waiting on the
second,
final
but if
car to
there's
grid.
if there's
Pit road
7
is
seconds
closed
to be
right
had
now.
out there, then well, time to grid in.
Everyone's gridded. 1 lap to green. Line up on the left side. Everyone's gridded. Pit road is closed right now.
Guess what genius made it a parade lap?
I like parades.
Is it a whole lap?
It depends on the track. I don't know. No, he's going to pit up here at the pit entrance, and we're going to do a flying start out onto the opening straight.
Oh yeah, that's not so bad. Take the chicane at a reasonable speed.
Get ready, going green. Stay focused.
They certainly look like it's green.
Can't catch the 9 car if everybody's just speeding off.
Right? Oh, this is going to be a cluster.
Here it goes.
Don't mind me, I'm just hanging out here on the inside.
I am told there's an incident ahead. Weird.
Pretty sure I'd pick up a protest for dive bombing on that one. I'm going to blame the oval.
And I've already lost the pack.
Still there, hold your line. You got a slow car on the right. Go left. There's an incident ahead.
No drama. Oh, look, the DRS zone.
Oh, I didn't find a button for that.
A little sloppy. I am 10 seconds behind anything interesting going on. How y'all doing?
I'm 1 second behind you.
Probably like a minute behind all that.
Kind of weird to be hunted by Shote. The good news is now you're learning all my extremely shitty lines through here.
So don't follow you.
Someday I'm gonna learn the timing of that braking zone.
You got a slow car on the right. Cut
Aye.
off on the right. You cut the course. You got to slow down and give up that time.
Oh, cut the course, huh? Feel like it was justified.
Well, now rather than setting shitty lines, I'm following them, which is something I'm much more comfortable with.
Good news is I can't see the leaders in my rear view yet.
I can see them. They're up there by the chicane.
They say you cut the course. You'll have to slow down and give up the time gain.
Once again, agreed. The nice part about this is my incident count is high and my lap times are high. As a system of pissing off race control, it's very efficient. That felt better.
My hobby is pissing off my race engineer instead.
That time I was ready for the dip to the steering. Jesus. All you had to do was not be greedy, buddy.
Well, that is a line that somebody took. That was me.
First time I haven't screwed that up.
$144.
I'm sitting here at a 147.4 is my best.
148 here. Well, that's not going to be a 148.
I'll think of you fondly. Creative line. Loss of focus.
Okay, now I can see the leader in my rear view.
Just remember, until you don't get a blue flag, they can't do nothing to you.
Well, I've got a blue flag. And I've officially been lapped.
I'm guessing that means they're about 30 seconds behind me. Which for them means like 4 laps.
If I do math correctly, 45?
You have to get your wheel in there to get that dip or you're fucked.
looking the wrong way.
I love in these pods how all the different kinds of ways you feel the anti-lock brakes going off. I felt good about that. I felt good about that. That could have been better.
They say you come to call. You'll have to slow down and give us a time gap. Just set your fastest lap station.
Three minutes, lads. They gonna give me one more? 143.3.
Jesus.
Sitting over here on my 147 flat. More education is needed.
At a solid 152. Actually, no, 150.
I feel like that's the wrong direction. Not sure I could have blown that compound turn any more than that. Rapidly losing focus. Not enough torque to clutch drop it loose.
Bring it back to the pit. We're going. The car behind has gone off.
What's up?
Well race. Let me get back to the head end.
There we go. Whew, that was brutal. Hey, Rello, and you wander in. According to the results screen, there's not really anything to write home about that one, but that's okay because it's Saturday night and no one is trying very hard. Where are we? Running the feature race. There we go. All right. So we are going to send our racers safely back to the green room, and it's time for my favorite segment of this season, the Bring a Trailer Challenge. Now, tonight is for funsies. There are no season points up for grabs, and everybody actually gets 2 shots at the ball. Duffy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Speak into the lollipop here.
Hello.
How was your run in the GR86?
I think I need more practice, but it was fun.
Good, good. Let's advance. Now, you've never done this segment before, right?
I have not.
All right, excellent. So that's we've been there. We did that. Excellent. Duffy, you are going to see 2 auctions on Bring a Trailer. Are you familiar with Bring a Trailer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just how many wheeled vehicles? Your goal is to guess which one of those 2 vehicles sold for more money. Now I've got a big clipboard here full of data about these vehicles, so you're not flying completely blind here, but at the end of the day, only you can make the decision.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And for the audience and you, it's an auction that is completed, so you cannot run out and bid on it. It's mostly for Conan. And also, it completed in the last 24 hours, and they had multiple bids. These are real auctions, all right? So, and the reason we have moved to that is because it's very possible that Conan would have run out and bought that NSX if we were doing these live. All
I
right,
would
so
have thought he was more of the Corvette guy.
all right, let's talk about the vehicles here. For starters, we have. All right, I changed the order of you 2, and so I've got them all backwards here. Sorry, 1 second, wrong page. That's Schott section right there. Here we go. Okay, so the 91 Acura NSX, that is a 5-speed manual. It's got red embroidery all over the places where NSX red embroidery would be sexy. It's got a limited slip, 16-inch forged wheels, pop-up headlights, automatic climate control, cruise control, and a mobile phone built into the car. Seller bought it in 21. It's had some service. They rebuilt the right side constant velocity. It shows 158,000 miles and is offered with the owner's manual service record, spare parts, clean Carfax report, and it is a North Carolina car in the name of the seller, not an LLC. Lots of other stuff about the NSX. This one particularly has an 188 mile an hour speedometer. Not really a powerful car for its time, 270 horse, 200 foot-pounds, but iconic, classic.
Definitely a classic.
Not a whole lot of them made them into the States, and obviously an amazing car. It is up against the Vet. This is a 2017 Vet with 12,000 miles on it. This is what we call a C7 Vet. And as far as I'm concerned, the second biggest middle finger that Chevrolet has ever given to Corvette fans, because they got rid of so much of the design language in the C6 Vet, which was almost Ferrari-like, quite frankly, in many ways. And they slapped the taillights from the Camaro on the back of it, which were horrible. And it's got Ferrari lights up front, but not in the good way. And it looked much more like a Hot Wheel than the previous Corvette. Now, a lot of people would say that that's what makes a Corvette or a Corvette. But as we now know, this is only in the transition to the C8, which looks so much unlike a Corvette in any way, shape, or form. They didn't even put the engine in the same place.
Enough that I actually like the way they look.
So this is a Z06, so it's the faster of the set. It's got 12,000 miles on it. That is an Admiral blue color. Don't know what that is. 10-speaker Bose. The speedo on this one goes to 220. It's obviously an LT4 V8. Dry sump, can do all the twisties. It is a beastly car by any stretch of the imagination. No weird things about it. And so what you have to tell me now, Duffy, is which one of these cars sold for more?
I don't know the market on either one of these cars, which is great.
I think the guy who would really help you through that question is off tonight. So
Yeah. I do know that cars are just stupid priced these days in general. Low mileage, whatever, seems to, probably a boost for the Corvette. The scarcity and the iconic, nature of the Acura, though, I feel like could drive the price way up on something like that.
you have successfully identified all of the factors in play.
Yeah.
Now you just have to decide.
I'm going to go with the Acura. I think that there are Acura folks, Honda folks out there that would pay a pretty penny for one of these.
Chat, he made his call. Do you have one? Because I'm about to press the button with whatever delay we're currently living in. Drain says the Vet. And the reality is, it was the Vet by
by
2
$2,000.
grand. Not quite. Normally that would be worth a season point, but it's Saturday. We don't do anything for real, and that means you get another one.
All right. I mean, if I was spending that kind of money, I might actually buy the vet.
For 63. See, here's the thing though. It's an 8-year-old vet at this point, a 7-year-old vet, and it's the last. It's like the unloved child of the last generation of
But
vets.
give that, 15, 20 years, and there's going to be something that.
I don't
Not
know,
that I would
man.
keep it for that long.
All right, here's
Okay, this is-
a fun one that I got to put together. So this is a 2005 SL65 AMG. So it was the SL 550 and then one engine bigger and with the AMG branding on it. It's got 29,000 miles, which actually isn't a whole lot for an AMG of any stripe. 6-liter V12 before they went back to the 8x turbos, and so it's got like that long hood actually goes for something, right? It's got 19-inch alloys and keyless go and the command navigation system, which I owned a Benz from that generation. It was perfectly reasonable for what it was. It's got a Bose sound system. That is a pewter metallic, which I think is their best color of that era, but unfortunately also one of the most common. By Xenon's stability program, slip control. Obviously, all the Benzes from this era are automatics, and so it was a undistinguished automatic transmission, any way, shape, or form. Has a 220 speedo, but I think it'll only do 180. Digital odometer indicates 29K, 700 of which were under the existing owner. It is contrasted with a car that I love very, very much, a 95 BMW 850 CSI, one of only 225 built for the U.S. market during its 2-year production run. This is also a 5.6-liter V12, instead linked to a 6-speed manual transmission, as God intended. Jet black over black leather, limited slip, 18-inch wheels, sunroof, stereo, all the fun bits and pieces. This one has 112,000 miles on it, and it's offered by a seller on behalf of an owner with service records, car cover, clean Carfax, and this one is in fact a Washington title, which means it's been up here for a while, dealing with our relatively recent climate, but no salt, which is good. So you've got like the stereotypical executive salesman, like Autobahn boomer, like it's the on-ramp hero. No one looked weird showing up at the country club in it, versus 10 years its junior, or rather its senior. They didn't make a whole lot of them. They held their, like, if you ever saw that Top Gear episode about old cars from that era that lost their power, like, the 850s do not exactly hold up, but they're exceedingly rare, and then BMW dropped the 8 Series altogether until they brought it back in recent era and made a race car out of it, which, spoiler alert, we'll talk about in just a second. So, what I need to know from you, Duffy, is which one of these guys went for more? Drain says the BMW. Twindigo says the BMW. Twindigo says she wants it to be the BMW. She thinks it's the Benz.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I want it to be the BMW. But my guess is that the Benz probably went for more.
I'm going to be honest with you. I do not remember, and so I'm going to be surprised
Just
here
as
with
shocked
you.
as I am.
Are you ready? It's the
No.
Beamer by a
Yeah,
substantial amount,
By a big lead.
and like that's
I guess that 250 scarcity probably drives that way up.
so that's the 250 scarcity. The fact that it's like, go find me another V12.
Yeah.
And like the reality of that, as like solid B plus as all the AMGs were from that era, they were everywhere. At least like I was in California there. They were literally everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like the Palo Alto car of choice. Well, thank you for playing Bring a
Yeah.
Trailer, and I would love for you to go bring me a shoat.
All right.
Shoat, did you bring a trailer?
No. Wait.
You'll
Did you buy these?
These are for you.
Ah, great.
First, we have, get out of the way here, a turbocharged 2001 MX-5, which, if you listened to the way I said turbocharged, You're probably thinking, that's not right, and it is in fact not. Not supposed to have an intercooler in that mouth, at least not in that era. So, 1.8 liter inline four that has been aftermarket equipped with a Garrett GT2560R turbocharger and, ready for it, Visco pistons, max speeding rods, connecting rods, an MS3 PO ECU, RC550cc fuel injector, skunk, 64 millimeter throttle body, a BEGI 3-inch downpipe, Enthusicar high-flow catalytic converter, MagnaFlow muffler, and tailpipe. It has been refinished in pure white, red, white, and blue, and has a Mazda Speed style body kit, while the interior has been fitted with Corbeau racing seats and harnesses, a roll bar, a short shift kit, readouts for boost pressure and air fuel ratio. Do you understand where I'm going with this?
They took the slider and went S class.
Yeah, they slid it over, and I don't know if I've got performance stats here, but probably not S class, probably A or B class. So importantly, this is not someone just being like, I want to race Miatas, but I don't want to get into spec Miata. This is someone that put 104,000 miles on their Miata and then said, well, it's overhaul time, now what? Which, honestly, that's a pretty good way to solve that problem. I then have a list of all the aftermarket parts that I am not going to repeat, including like actual model numbers on timing belts and shit. I don't think that's important here. Let me tell you about... Oh, sorry. A matching racing helmet will accompany the car. So just in case you wanted to be sure about what was going on here.
All right, I'll add $10 to that.
The WRX, on the other hand, 61,000 miles. This is a 2014. The seller was Eastside Subaru in Kirkland, Washington. Getting a lot of local boys in here tonight. Now 61,000 miles, finished in satin white. That's a 2.5 liter flat four. Drives all four wheels. The beauty of all-wheel drive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Has a revised Alpine head unit, so it has Apple CarPlay. Android Auto, integrated backup camera. Work was performed in 2023 to replace the clutch, the battery, the spark plugs, offered with its window sticker service records and a clean Carfax report. Black leather, 150 miles speedo. At the factory, it was 265 horsepower. We don't know what it does now.
I'm going to go with the one that had model numbers for all of their new stuff.
So you're saying if you keep the documentation, your car is worth more?
No, the turbocharged with the...
All right. Shote says the Miata. Sorry, Rella, it was the Beamer by a substantial margin. Any opinions on these two fine white specimens before we move on here? Drain says Subi. Drain would say Subi, though. Pretty sure,
mean,
like...
It is nice.
He lobbied an act of Congress to get that damn sticker, so... All right, here we go.
Aw.
It is the Subaru by $3,000.
So the previous owner of the turbocharged one spent all of his money in time typing up this like list of parts.
Like, there... A 23-year-old Miata is an old Miata.
It is.
All right, here we go. Your second challenge. No winners, no points. I thought you'd enjoy this. This is a 2013 Cayenne Turbo with 73,000 miles on it. That is a twin turbocharged 4.8 liter V8. With the 8-speed Tiptronic S automatic transmission. This is right before they started putting PDK on their big iron, and so it's not the best transmission ever made for a car of this nature. 19-inch wheels, yada, yada, yada. It was registered in California with the original owner until 2024. 73,000 miles. Clean Carfax, manuals, whole 9 yards. It's got PDLS, which is the lighting system. It's got the fog, sunroof, rails, receiver hitch, LEDs, adjustable air suspension, power everything, 190 speedo, and it under certain circumstances could get near that. At the factory, made 500 horses and 516 foot-pound of torque. Now, that's a lot of Porsche, but it's got some flaws, which we can talk about after I've told you all about this 19,000 mile Chevy Tahoe LS. Are you ready for this?
That is a good picture.
So that is an original owner Tahoe LS until 2023, and now it shows 19,000 miles. It rides on a lowered suspension and 20-inch billet specialty wheels over cross-drilled and slotted four-wheel discs. It's finished indigo blue metallic. It's got a 5.7-liter V8, which out of the factory made 255 horsepower, so that's half the Porsche, and 330 foot-pounds, which is 100 under the Porsche, 150 under the Porsche. Owner's manual, service records, clean Carfax, lowered suspension with React forged spindles, Beltec springs and shocks, Beltec sway bars, little shop manufacturing master brake cylinder replacement, four-wheel AZ Pro performance cross rotors, even has an AM FM radio. Someone lowered and stanced their 98 Chevy Tahoe. And that's all they did to it. They lowered and stanced their Tahoe.
I think I gotta go Tahoe. I think it's right at that point where it's just old enough that it's like kind of nostalgic, so you might pay a little more for it. And the Porsche is just not old enough where you're like, oh, it's kind of classic now.
So I'm going to give you my opinion. You're going with the Tahoe?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my opinion. I have no idea what the bleep is going on with this Tahoe. I other than the fact that it is a low mileage example of a relatively common vehicle, like the aftermarket shit's worth literally nothing. The engine's worth literally nothing. The body, if there's anything left under that paint, is worth literally nothing. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what is going on? The Porsche, on the other hand, is the model that what I'm going to generously say Porsche fans think is everything that is wrong with their brand. And yet, this and the Boxster were the cars that allowed Porsche to stay solvent so they could keep making 911s. And the reality is, it's a great car. No, the transmission isn't the greatest, but like, it's a 500 horsepower Autobahn bruiser you can bring your kids into and go out in the sand under some circumstances. What's not to like?
This is true. I am rooting for it.
However,
the Tahoe. Wow.
by $10,000. That's a $35,000 Tahoe on springs.
Why?
If anyone would like to tell me what the fuck is going on here, I would love to hear from you.
Why?
But I have no answers. And I believe that on that note, it brings us to race 2.
Oh boy.
Sometimes it doesn't go the way you think it does. All right, so we are doing Feature Race 2. Feature Race 2 is going to be, and I believe it's already set up behind us, hopefully. We are doing the BMW M8 GTE, which is the Grand Touring Endurance M8. We talked about the 8 Series a little bit earlier, in that it lasted for about 200 units produced in the US, more in Germany, until they took it away. And they never really made anything really awesome. It was kind of like the original like two-door front engine cruiser from BMW. And then we got the 6 Series later, but it was ugly as hell, and that was the Chris Bangle era, and I don't even want to go into it. Point being, they brought the 8 back, and then they made an M8, and then they decided this would be a really good platform for an endurance car, and it is, and so they brought us this. 500 horsepower, great acceleration off the line, and also quite large and difficult to get around on the track. So we got that going for us.
Great.
And we will be taking it to the infamous Nurburgring Nordschleife, which is 12.9 miles of track in its current configuration, containing 73 turns, some of which are world famous and get faithfully replicated elsewhere on other tracks. This is where the German Grand Prix happened in the 70s until Niki Lauda died on the track. Well, he died off the track, but that's neither here nor there. In addition to hosting various racing series, it is in fact a public toll road, and you can drive it yourself with a coach or as a passenger in a ring taxi, which could be interesting in a number of ways. We are going to do something a little weird tonight since it's Saturday, and we are going to drive just in an open practice session. We are going to do a follow the leader lap, just as friends, hanging out, driving nice cars in what I believe I set up as a 10 a.m. race. And then when we cross through, we're going to do a lap in anger and see how that goes for us. And that should take us straight to 10 o'clock, or rather 9 o'clock, which is, I believe, when we had this one scheduled to. So without further ado, let's go flash the emergency lights in the green room and summon the rest of our drivers, by which I mean Duffy. Hopefully he's not too comfy in there. And let's get everybody suited up and boxed in.
It's gonna be great.
I think so.
I called it on the Tahoe.
You called it on the Tahoe?
Yeah, you can do that.
What? Explain the Tahoe.
It's just the low miles Chevy fanboy situation.
So you're telling me that Chevy people are nuts?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're developing a theme. All right.
The sound of blue jeans on Alcantara. If it makes you feel any better, I just smacked myself in the head with my headset. So
Okay, what's our suspension setup on these? Or not suspension, but transmission.
these are sequentials, so you can just row your paddles through it. Let me know when you're all in here, and I'll. You might want to check your views, make sure you're good.
I am in.
All right, off we go. This is what they call the industry paddocks. This is where professionals get to get onto the track, not tourists.
What am I doing here then?
It's a nice, gentle run through here. You must read out all the chalk and pronounce it in German. How's everyone doing back there? Feeling safe and warm?
Car's very screechy.
It's because we're driving it slow, which I promise you race cars love. Good pace, or you want a little more?
I mean, it's okay, but I could go with a little more. I say that, then I'll probably wreck.
Have you ever driven this before, Duffy?
You know, I don't think I have. At least not in iRacing. I think I might have in Forza Motorsport.
It took a while before racing games could handle enough geometry in memory to be able to replicate this track at all. It's beautiful that they nailed the scenery.
Yeah, I should be looking out my side windows more.
Like I said, it's just a tour this first lap. We're just checking out the things.
Your bumper says Pro on it.
So does yours.
My bumper says Pro?
Huh.
Okay, 10 more miles an hour.
My bumper says if you can read this, turn me over.
Oh, that might happen in the second lap.
Every one of these chalk outlines is an eldritch spell.
A prayer for a better lap time.
I crashed. And I crashed.
We're gonna slow down here. Your car's gonna be fine, I'm sure.
My car might be stuck.
You just want to have lunch here, Showed, or
Like next to the barbed wire?
Officially unstuck.
good, good. We just had brunch.
A little foreshadowing of the race to come.
I'm not gonna remember any of these turns.
Can you see him in your rear view?
Not yet.
Probably turned around and I'm going the wrong way. Oh, there you are.
Advancing to 90-mile-an-hour pace. This is Der Carousel. And it helps if you stay on the inside of it.
I think the carousel was the one they copied at PEC Los Angeles.
That is correct. Los Angeles has a millimetric copy of the carousel.
Don't remember it being that bumpy.
It's because you were doing it in a 911 turbo show.
Nah, fair.
And isn't it like just concrete slab, not asphalt?
Basically, yes. There's also this really wicked entry to the turn where if the instructor doesn't complete your think you're complete, yeah, they'll let you take way too quick. How we doing back there? A little more?
I haven't crashed again.
Can I interest anybody in a second carousel?
I
Does
mean,
this one go the other way?
I'd take another one. It's like a baby carousel.
I believe it is actually called a decliner carousel. Or something to that effect. We'll pick up the pace slightly through here. And that's it. You just ran the Nurburgring.
That's not so bad, he says as he's about to crash into a wall.
Gotta go, my people need me. Handles differently under load.
Oh, what happened there?
Speed limit active. And I'll have something productive.
Got off the track, but didn't crash.
Oh, the track goes this way.
I may have cut a corner.
Don't worry, I did that too.
I found a wall.
He's fighting.
I think I'm high centered on a curb.
I think I'm ejected from the car.
I definitely did at the end, but didn't touch the wall. Touch that wall. Need a 7th gear.
So which lap did you like better? And would you like another?
Definitely the second lap was great.
Have we found you your car? Have we found you your course?
Driving this car is definitely chaos, though.
Well, by all means, please.
Oh no, go ahead. My hood popped off twice in that accident.
Gotta do a little Austin Powers turnaround here.
Every time.
Well, yep.
Up here in that traction control chatter.
I ran into the curb on the entrance.
Oh my god, this is how it ends. Picking down all of my seconds of lap advantage. I don't even know how far back that put me. Not too far. Of course, if I can't arrest that, then it's not going to matter, is it? Beginning to understand what they mean about how big it is. license plate and just turned it off. At 15 newton meters, you can't take your hands off the wheel.
And is already chaos here.
Now do that for a 6-hour shift. You have 1/4 of a 24 hours of Nurburgring. Well, what's left there.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Ah, this corner again.
And that is all we have time for tonight on Tonight We Race. A shout out to our excellent drivers and all the support staff that makes this possible, as well as the people who could not be here tonight that are racing remotely in the Tuesday and Wednesday leagues. Tonight We Race is a community activity. We play as a community, we talk as a community, and frequently we source our content from the community. That means that we like to hear from you. The best place, of course, to do that is our Discord. If you can keep your nose clean, your language safe for the children, and we'd love for you to add your wheels to ours in a cold open race, the Discord is where you get that information. You may have noticed that we have these racing pods here, and every so often one or more of them goes empty for a number of reasons. If you reside in the greater Seattle area, are over the age of 18, play well with others, and can sign a code of conduct, liability waiver, and talent release, there may be some time in our pods for you. This is a volunteer role. You help us make the show more interesting, and you get to sit in the bouncy chair for a race or two. The Discord, of course, again, is where you get started. And with that, thank you, everyone. That was a successful second Saturday. Next week, we re-enter the show for the Tuesday and Wednesday sessions, where the Tuesday and Wednesday crew are both locked in contention of their season cups, for which we have not yet determined an appropriate prize, or even if we want to invite them back for another season. I will see you all in... How many days is that? The M8 has destroyed my ability to do math. Is that 3 days until Tuesday? It's 3 days until Tuesday. We'll see you in 3 days. Thank you and good evening. And thank you. Good show.
Yeah, good show. That was fun.
Whose hands are hurting?
Is that wheel on 10 or is it on 5?
All the wheels start out on 5 unless one of us goes and changes it for you or you change it yourself.
It felt lighter than the last time I was on.
I had this one turned up to 15 and I am dying. That thing is a
I could've
monster.
gone 10 on the first couple races, but I think it was nice at 5 on that one.
This one needed 5 because it was also like these faster cars want more.
Yeah.
Yep. Show was the monster on that last race.
I had no idea. I am deeply concerned. What was that time? Show, that's a 7:18.
Yeah.
Wow.
718 is fast in any context on the Nordschleife.
Yeah.
And how was I?
Schultz was the
How was I
monster.
20 seconds
on
faster
that.
than you?
Because I spent an awful lot of time reading the chalk, as they say.
Well, that was my first lap, and then all the other ones are just downhill.
You did really well. You did really well.
It helps to be careful.
Yes.
Because I didn't know it was coming.
The only time you guys got screwed up was that chicane. That got
Every
everyone.
time.
Yeah, I never touched the road on that one.
All right, folks, let's tear it down.